Hello and welcome back to In the Kitchen with Matt. I am your host, Matt Taylor. Today, I'm going to show you how to make dinner rolls. These dinner rolls are incredibly soft, buttery, no kneading required, and no mixer required. Super easy to do. If I can do it, you can do it. Let's get baking. First, we want to get our yeast started. So I have 1 cup of milk, and I'm going to add 1/2 cup of water to it. And I'm going to include all the ingredient amounts down below in the description, so don't worry about that. All right, now I'm going to put this in the microwave and heat it up. And I want it to be somewhere between 105 and 115 degrees Fahrenheit. So between 45 seconds and 1 minute on high usually works for this. All right, once we have our water and milk heated up, I'm going to transfer it over to this larger bowl. I'm going to add my yeast, 1 tablespoon of yeast. And I'm also going to add about a teaspoon of my sugar. And that'll be food for the yeast. Take a whisk. I'm just going to whisk, agitate it a bit. And then we're just going to let this set for 5 to 10 minutes until it gets nice and foamy. And that is how we know the yeast is activated. If it doesn't get foamy in 5 to 10 minutes, then the yeast is bad, or the water or the liquid was too hot and it was killed. So you need to start over. So let's just let this sit and let the yeast do its work. All right, as you can tell, our yeast is nice and foamy, it's ready to go. I'm gonna set this aside right there. Now I have 4.5 cups of bread flour. I definitely recommend using bread flour. You can use all-purpose flour, but they will turn out so much better if you use bread flour. Now I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and then with the whisk, I'm just gonna combine this, and you can sift it all together if you like. Now I have 2 eggs here. I'm gonna go ahead and just whisk these up a little bit with a fork. And now I'll take my yeast mixture, we'll add the eggs, and now I have 4 tablespoons of butter here, and I'm gonna melt this just so it's nice and melted. We don't want it too hot, so go ahead and put it in the microwave, probably 30 seconds, 45 seconds until it's just completely melted. Once our butter is melted, let's go ahead and add that. And then with a whisk, we're gonna whisk this all together. And now we're gonna take our flour, sugar, and salt mixture, and we're gonna add about 1/2 of it at a time first. And then with a wooden spoon, let's go ahead and stir this all together. Then I kind of go around the edges and kind of scrape the edges as I'm doing this. And now I'm just gonna add the rest of this. It's gonna come all together, but it's still gonna be sticky. And then you just mix it until it all comes together like this. Now the dough's gonna be sticky, and that's okay. I'm gonna just push it down a little bit. And now I'm gonna transfer it to this larger bowl. I normally make it in this bowl, but the glass bowl looks a little nicer on film. But I'm gonna take our sticky dough here, just put it in that bowl, and then I'm gonna cover it with a damp towel and place it somewhere warm. And we're gonna let this rise for 2 to 2.5 hours. 1.5 might work until it's gonna probably triple in size and it's gonna be kind of bubbly on top. So let's go to that step. All right, and once our dough has risen, take off the towel. You can see that it came up all really nice. Now what we wanna do is we wanna set this aside, and I'm gonna take some flour. Just lightly dust the top here, and then I want to grab our dough, and we're gonna just, I'm gonna just stretch it out with my hands here. And now I want to make 20 rolls with this. You can make them bigger, like if you just do 12 rolls, they'll be a lot bigger, and I'm gonna do 20, so they're a little bit smaller. And so I want to divide this in half. I'm just using a dough cutter. You can use a knife. I really like this. And then in half again. Half again. Now I'm just gonna kind of roll it out a little bit so I can get 5 equal pieces out of here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now what you do is you take a 13 by 9 pan and you line it with parchment paper. And then you just take your pieces of dough and you kind of just flatten it out with your palm and then just push it in to the center like that. And then we'll make it nice and smooth on the top like that. And we'll go ahead and put that in like this. And if it gets sticky on your hands, then just add a little bit more flour. Like I'm gonna need some more flour. And then you're gonna place them just so they're just barely touching each other. So you just do that with the rest of them. So I'll turn it back on and show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, once we have them all shaped, we're gonna take some canola oil spray or olive oil spray, or alternatively, you can just actually do melted butter on the tops. This is gonna help them to not stick on our plastic wrap, which we're gonna put on right now. Some cling wrap. All right, let's put the cling wrap on. All right, now we're gonna place this in a warm spot and let it rise for about 45 more minutes. All right, it's been about 45 minutes. As you can see, they rose up beautifully. And now what we want to do is we want to bake these in a preheated oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to bake them for 15 to 20 minutes until they're nice and golden brown on the top. And then when they come out of the oven, they'll look like this, nice golden brown on top. And while they're still warm, we're going to go ahead and take some softened butter. We'll go ahead and brush the tops of these, just like that. Amazing. And there you go. Soft, buttery, amazing dinner rolls. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just grab the parchment paper ends and we'll pull them right out of our pan. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just cut into this one, just to show you what it looks like. Look at that. Amazing, right? Nice and soft. Awesome. All right, our dinner rolls are done. They turned out amazing. Soft, buttery, awesome. They're really easy to do. If I can do it, you can do it. Go out there and make your own. I'm Matt Taylor. This has been another episode of In the Kitchen with Matt. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you have any questions or comments, put them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thumbs up, down in the corner, push it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Take care. Time for me to dive into one of these. Oh yeah, I'm gonna grab this guy.